Oh my God, Remy, Debbie Elias,
Hi,
a
Debbie.
pleasure.
Deb Elias?
Debbie Elias.
Debbie Elias.
Yes. Kate, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Rusty Schwimmer
And
from the
Rusty.
film.
Hi, Rusty.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Well, as I already wrote about your film, this is a film that every American needs to see.
Oh,
Thank you for saying so. I hope they all get a chance to.
This is an astounding story, and your performance, this is a tour de force, Kate. It's amazing. What was the impetus to tell this story? This is not a story people tell. I think the last PTSD they shy away from anyway, but I think, and from a female standpoint, I think the only film we've seen is the one Liza Johnson did with Linda Cardellini, Return. And it's lovely. And now it took all these years for you guys to bring us Bloodstripe. Where did this story come from?
I think it's actually one of the oldest stories we tell. It's just with a new type of character at the center, and that was what was so intriguing to us when we set out to write it, because we co-created the film really together. Was that it gave us an opportunity to tell one of the oldest stories, the Odyssey, essentially. But now we, in America, in this culture, we have women who are returning from war. And that's a whole new, undiscovered area of storytelling and unexplored and unseen characters that is open to us now. So do you have anything to add to that one?
I mean, that absolutely, that sort of from a mythic story perspective, and then practically we were inspired by that lake on which we shot. I grew up there as a young girl, and we knew we wanted to make a film on that body of water, and I thought, well, what can we do? And Remy thought, I want to keep it, since it'll be an independent film, I want to keep it lean. We're going to follow you. You're a resource that I have, I can count on, so we'll follow you. And then it just sort of came together because there are actually a number of men and women from that part of the country who enlist, serve in our military. And because of my physical stature, in a way, we thought maybe I could pass as a soldier. And so we started looking into stories of servicemen and women from that area, specifically, and we were really inspired. And it just developed from there and really became much bigger than us very quickly. And so I'm so happy that you responded to it, because we too felt like we were doing something in service of something much larger than ourselves.
Well, I have to tell you, Kate, having known many Marines and former Marines over my life, there is not a minute I did not believe that you had been in the Corps.
It was a tall order. Those were big, big shoes for me to fill. I knew it was a real undertaking that I took very seriously and applied every ounce of my strength and my discipline and toughness that I possibly could. And then I pushed it every day to get stronger. Because I knew, while I understand struggle and I understand discipline to a degree and hardship in a certain kind of fight, I did not understand what it is to serve. And so I was humbled in that process and honored to do what I could to contribute this type of portrait to our culture, which is a strong woman. They make up 20% of our military.
Yes.
So, you know, it wasn't hard to find really inspiring stories and women to draw from, strength from, and serve that.
And you know, Rusty, your character of Dot is so important in this film because it's through Dot connecting with Sarge that we finally learn something about her. What led you to this? You don't take just any role that comes along. I know this. But what attracted you to this project, and particularly the character of Dot?
Well, when people want to tell a story about a woman that exists in our country, that a lot of people are not necessarily going to tell that story, I find it very important. I find it mandatory to do films like that, because as soon as we do films like that, people will pay attention. People do pay attention. They won't pay attention if we don't do that film. And for Dot, I saw her as all of the women in our country that really don't know what's happening. And as soon as I found out her story, I could have that real reaction that Dot would have. And so I felt it very important. I also like these two.
Yeah, there's something about I don't know.
Connection to that part of the country.
I do
as well.
have a connection to that part of the
She
country.
went to camp not that far away.
I sure did. I sure did in
Sure.
Bemidji, Minnesota. I spent all of my summers there.
Yeah.
So I understood Dot very, very well. I knew about 100 of them.
And so it was easy to instruct her on how to clean the floors properly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We thought Dot was a soldier in her own right.
Yes, absolutely. There was no doubt about it. And that's why I think she and Sarge really, really got along and understood each other without saying a word, really. Mm-hmm. You know?
And they kind of look alike. They kind of look alike.
Lots of redheads in the movie.
Redheads.
And the
They're a
strange
dying
thing
breed, but-
is that both of us are the third daughter of 4 girls.
Yeah.
And the only redhead.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they took direction.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Took direction. It was okay.
We ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly, and we took direction.
Yes, we did. Oh, we did eat a lot of peanut butter.
But it's a lovely moment in the movie when you discover, and she hasn't seen it yet.
I know.
She's gonna have the premiere with everybody else. So
I'm gonna hold her hands.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
but it's a
we're
beautiful
gonna hold-
moment in the movie when
nauseous.
she
A little nauseous. Yeah. But you know, at the same time, I think Kate said it so correctly. It's so much bigger than this film.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
And the movie drew a lot of energy to it because of that. That was, we were able to marshal such great talents, as Rusty and as Chris Sullivan and Tom Lipinski and Ashley Atkinson, and my dad, Remy Auberjonois.
Yeah,
It pulled in people who are really fine actors who wanted to tell the story and serve this story of this woman. Really everybody worked very selflessly, which was fantastic.
And I have to say, seeing your dad as the pastor took me right back to the Patriot. Totally, you don't even bat an eye. It fits.
He has an oeuvre of ministers. He was Father Mulcahy in MASH. He's done his ministers. As an actor, I call myself Dr. Lawyer Doctor, but he's kind of the minister man.
Spiritual part.
Yeah. He likes to talk. So
Guys, thank you so much. I think they're actually setting up an interview this weekend for us and your dad. So, and if you're around, you too. So,
Thank you
guys,
so much.
thank you
Lovely to
so
meet you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Remy. Thank you, Rusty, very much.